You're listening to Fate 40 and Beyond, the podcast for women figuring life out in real time, with honesty, humor, and space to breathe. I'm Jen, the host, your favorite spiritual bestie, and the owner of Soulful Existence, where I offer one-on-one readings for tarot, astrology, and mediumship. Take a deep breath with me because, oh my gosh, this week did not go as planned. I had every intention of releasing a mini episode this week, and I am doing it 2 days late. Okay, no big deal. I was under the weather. My energy was off. My body was clearly telling me I had to pause. And instead of pushing through it, I paused. This episode is for anyone else who is thinking, I'm behind too, or I dropped the ball, or I should be further along in my weekly plans. Stick around. Let's talk about this. Because a pause is not the same thing as quitting. And that's something I've had to learn mostly over the last couple months. I've not mastered it yet. The key here is that missing one step or missing one day doesn't erase everything you've already built. There's a pressure to stay consistent. A lot of people feel that. And I know it's not just women, but many people in our 40s. Consistent content for the content creators, consistent routines, consistent growth, consistent productivity. And yes, I get it. Consistency matters. But the problem with that is somewhere along the way, consistency turned into this rigid rule that says if you've missed one thing, you failed. If you slow down, you're falling behind. If you rest, you're losing momentum. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Gen X era we were raised in. You push through. You do it in spite of the pain, the energy loss, the fatigue, whatever it is. So many of us were taught to push through. Show up no matter what. Ignore our bodies. Earn the rest instead of responding to need. And so when something throws us off, whether it's sickness, exhaustion, emotional overload, the first place we don't go is self-compassion, or it's not self-compassion, it's self-judgment. I should have done this better. I should have planned ahead. I should have powered through. But here's the thing. Consistency without flexibility turns into self-betrayal. And self-betrayal always costs more in the long run. A pause in your plans is not laziness. It's not avoidance. It's not giving up. A pause is information that your body is saying something needs attention. It's that check engine light that we wouldn't ignore in our cars because we're old enough to go fix it now. It's your nervous system asking for regulation, an energy recalibration. In your 40s and beyond, ignoring those signals isn't neutral anymore. We can't just push through it like we did in our 20s. It shows up as burnout, it shows up as resentment, and it shows up as health stuff that we can't ignore. The joys of getting older, right? Pausing is actually a form of self-trust. It's saying, okay, universe, I'm paying attention. It's choosing long-term sustainability over short-term performance. I didn't lose progress, but I paused. I didn't reset to zero, but I paused. I didn't undo the growth and the work that I've already done, but I paused. Everything I've already done still counts. All the conversations I've had, all of the habits I'm building, all the awareness I've gained. None of that disappears just because I took a rest day. And I'm learning that slowly but surely. So let's talk about this idea of being behind. Because who are you behind? Behind compared to who? Behind compared to what? Most timelines that we measure ourselves against aren't even real. They're the social expectations, they're the productivity culture, there's someone else's highlight reel that we might be seeing online. Life doesn't move in straight lines. It never has. Growth is cyclical. Energy comes and goes. Clarity shows up in waves. And sometimes the most productive thing you can do is stop forcing forward motion. Who knew? If you're constantly pushing through exhaustion, you're actually not moving ahead. You're just accumulating energy debt that your body will collect later. Pauses don't slow your path, they correct it. I want to invite you into a small check-in. No fixing. Just ask yourself, where have I been pushing even though I'm tired? What signals have I been ignoring because I didn't want to fall behind? What would change if I stopped calling a rest a setback? Sometimes we just need to rephrase that. There's no perfect answers to these, but I just want you to check in with yourself and see what you notice, what pops up for you. Sometimes just being aware and knowing a vague idea can cause the entire shift. So if you need to hear this today, you're not off track. You didn't miss your chance. You didn't mess anything up, but it's okay to pause. Now you're here. You're allowed to come back without explaining yourself. It's my podcast. I could have released it days late and not told anyone why. But you're allowed to move at a pace that supports you because you won't fall behind. Not if you listen. Thanks for joining me today. I need to have these conversations with someone. And even if it's just the great void of the internet, there we go. Make sure you check in next week. I think I'm like 5 episodes ahead recorded. So I constantly have new ones that I am working on. And new openings are always popping up for being a guest on the show. On the website, I'm going to put a little blurb there so you can find the link to sign up as a guest, because I want the average woman. I want the everyday woman. I want someone who is going through the thick of it in life and needs to talk to some girlfriends about it. That's what this is, and I can't stress that enough. So thanks for sticking around. I've seen such a huge response on Spotify and YouTube, even Apple Podcasts. It's crazy to me. So I'm not talking to the void. It's nice to know that people listen, and I so appreciate it. Have a great day. Have a great week. The next episode should be out Wednesday-ish next week. I'm going to do everything I can to get it out on Wednesday just because I like the consistency of it for me. I need deadlines sometimes, I think. Have a great day. Bye.